Hey guys, welcome back to another SciCraft episode. So today I want to start by giving you a roadmap what's going on the next months on the SciCraft server. So you might know the snapshot season for the 1.16 update has started, lots of new content got added, but of course we're still playing Minecraft 1.12. The reason why we're still playing 1.12 has been explained quite a lot if you followed the live streams. I probably also make a separate video for that, so I don't want to get into too much detail about the reasons why we're still in 1.12. But we never had the intention to stay in 1.12 forever. It was always a constant debate and a constant consideration when should we update, and there's multiple factors that play into it. But we've now finally made the decision to finish all the 1.12 content and get ready for updating. But there's actually a lot left to do in 1.12, which we need to finish before we can update. I started to compile a list of things that we want to do in the 1.12 version of the game, and a list of things we need to do right before updating. This is located right next to the dispenser crafting system. But I don't think this list is complete. I'm quite sure along the way we'll also come up with some ideas that we also still want to do 1.12. So we'll just extend this list probably a little bit. But yeah, this should give you a rough overview of the projects that I know of right now that needs to be done in 1.12. So let's go through it. One of the things we definitely want to do is to create a pig spawner. This is only possible in a 1.12 version of the game, I think also lower versions, but not in 1.13 and above. It's quite unique to have a pig spawner, because in a normal game you couldn't get that. So you have to do some really cheaty stuff. Basically you need to create a spawner and push it in the same tick, and then it defaults back to the pig spawner. So this way you can get a unique pig spawner that does what a normal zombie spawner or a skeleton spawner would do. It just spawns pigs into the game. You can make that in creative mode, but it's kind of hard to do it in a normal survival game. Quite similar would be projects to generate ice spikes. At the moment we're actually running low on packed ice. We can't craft it yet, since we're still in 1.12, and it would be quite a fun project to play with the world generation a little bit. You can generate ice spikes up to sky limit, using some tricks. One of the things we also still need to do in 1.12 is play SciBlock. You might remember the void perimeter we made a while ago. We definitely still want to do the SciBlock challenge there. Alright, then another project would be a super overpowered squid farm. The concept we want to use wouldn't be viable anymore in 1.13 and above, so that's why we want to build the squid farm now. Another interesting project, we actually finished a brown mushroom farm in creative over 2.5 years ago, but never built it. But it turns out this also overpowered brown mushroom farm wouldn't work anymore in 1.13 and above, so we still want to build that one. Then that's an interesting one, Mandelbrot generation in the jungle perimeter. There was one of Pella's plans to build a floor, cover the floor of the jungle perimeter with a Mandelbrot set. So all the logic should be done within the game, and combining the computer that generates what needs to be placed where and some flying machines, we wanted to do that in a jungle perimeter. So we got some experts that are working on that already. It's one of the plans to do it in 1.12 still. Then of course make lots of TNT. Creeper farm is almost finished, or the whole creeper farm project. We can probably start in 2 weeks doing that. Then run the 3D Bedrock remover. XCOM and a lot of other slimestoners were working on that for over a year. Unfortunately, this also wouldn't work in 1.13 anymore. It would be a shame to never use the 3D Bedrock remover. So this is a unique machine, can only use it in 1.12. We also want to finish the long-standing goal of getting a double chest of each 1.12 item, including mob skulls, except the dragon heads. So this is one of the goals. Just need to finish a couple of farms, like the rabbit farm, in order to achieve that. Then another plan is to actually make a 1k by 1k void perimeter in the nether as well, because this would be quite useful for 1.16 to make a good gold farm in a future version of the game. So this will involve quite a lot of bedrock removal, again with the dragon eggs, which by the way you couldn't do in 1.13 and above anymore, And for the lowest layer, we can also now use the new 3D Bedrock removing machine. Then we already started it. We want to dig out the future spawn, so the spawn chunks got bigger, and we want to prepare the area for that. Also, we want to build a new main storage. We've been using the one here for almost 5 years now, so we're ready for 1.16. So already include all the new technology of the shulker boxes, and also make enough space for all the over 200 new items from 1.13 to 1.16 and so on. Then we also have an unfinished iron farm project. Not a lot of is known about that, but yeah, it's definitely worked on right now. And also one of the things I started quite a while ago but never got to finish would be the crafting system at the end of the pop-up piston bolt. Did not forget about it, just got sidetracked by other things. Okay, this is the list for now. Probably more things will be added to it, but this should already give you a rough idea what's to come. Things we need to do right before updating, I'm also quite sure more will be added to that list. Quite important, right before we update, we need to move the shulkers at spawn, so we got a new overworld mob switch. And we need to make a new nether mob switch. The old one using blazes will not work anymore. So as you can see, we got quite a lot of projects we still want to complete before we update, and this will take quite a while. So at the moment I would estimate this would take us almost the rest of the year. Maybe we can update in November or December. That's currently the plan. So at the time we're updating, I'm quite sure 1.17 might even be out already. So currently it is the 1.16 snapshots, judging from past versions in the game and the snapshot phase. I'm estimating 1.16 will be released in April to June. And maybe we'll see a smaller 1.17 update at the end of the year again. So we might actually update to 1.17 at the time. We'll see about that. We also made a little bit of progress towards our goal of updating to 1.16. We finished this project here between episodes. A little bit of progress is quite an understatement. We built the full quarry between episodes. So this was about 120 hours of work. I was streaming every day on Twitch. Kev was also streaming. Sky Rising was helping. Freester Fox was helping. Methods. Our newest member Iceberg has put in a lot of work. So this thing is completely built up. Smaller details are missing. I think we need to fill in the first storage of shulker boxes. And I want to go over it again and check for mistakes, and then we can launch this. Alright, now it's actually time to get back to our initial plan, which was building a crafting system right next to the creeper farm perimeter. So the idea was that we take the gunpowder coming from the creeper farm and combine it with the sand into TNT and build a crafting system here. Ideally, we would run the sand tubers and the creeper farm at the same time. Hopefully the server can handle it. We will see about that. Alright, now we actually need to launch the quarry. Makes a bit more space so we can start building this. But in the meantime, I could actually work on the sand transport. So the sand ends up at spawn and first needs to be packaged into shulker boxes. Then we take those shulker boxes, send them through the nether, so first into a portal of course. They will arrive in the nether and then an instant dropper line brings it here. And then we have to see. I think Rage Machine and Panic, we're already working on a crafting system. I think that's pretty much done. We'll see about that. But we can already work on the infrastructure to bring the stuff here. The creeper farm is actually the place I want to be, because I want to copy the double hopper speed shulker box filler for the gunpowder to use it for sand as well. So I'm going to take a lighmatic of this. Alright, so back at spawn, the center items will arrive on top of the spawn tower, and then we have to somehow bring them out of the spawn chunks. We're not going to build the shulker box loaders inside of the spawn chunks anymore, because that will contribute to the lag while they are not active at all. Alright, you can actually also check out the progress on the spawn chunk digging, or the future spawn chunk digging. We make quite a lot of progress. We dug out the dirt farm and the rest of the cobble farm now. Still there's a lot of chests we have to remove, but this side is completely done, this side is completely done. There we already had the mushroom farm, so it's only this rest over here, and then we also got the future spawn chunks completely dug out. So I would actually suggest we build the the shulker box loader, somewhere in the future spawn chunks area. I don't think we're gonna need it in 1.16 anyway, or 1.17 if we update. So this is also kind of temporary. We're gonna build it in that area. So we got free real estate here. We just need to see if we can hook this up to the nether. Portal situation at our nether was always a bit tricky. There's lots of portals around. Over there, for example, we got the portal that we use to shoot items through to keep the dimension loaded. Then we got some portals at the nether hub, of course. So I'm glad that it actually works out. So we can send the items here, and from there we can send it towards the creeper farm. That's, by the way, the creeper farm piston bolt here at the top. Time to show more progress. So I started with the instant dropper line. We dug out the whole tunnel, now going towards the crafting system. So this is about 2000 blocks long. And funny story, I actually ran into a kind of random perimeter. So we actually ended up first at the old Nether Fortress perimeter that we built about 3.5 years ago. And I had to redirect the tunnel, so it's gonna do a lot more turns. We also already put in all the droppers and rails below. Still need to work on the other side. So those rails are just there for the actual activation of the droppers. We need to send a separate signal on the side. Because of the rail update order, you always have to have 2 lines of rails. Alright, so left turn coming up. Okay. Then another right turn. And we should be there. Didn't even take that long streaming it. I was working on it for about 3.5 hours. I also already dug out the 5x5 chunk loading grid. Yeah. This part here. So this is kind of similar to the, really similar to the witch farm project we did. So here in the middle we now need to have a portal and send the shulker boxes filled with sand over to the overworld. I also have a lot of progress to show at the future side of the crafting system. SciCraft was pretty active here. He started building the stone generator. You might be familiar with this procedure from our witch farm project. So we are filling up the first subchunk with cobblestone blocks in order to cancel out a lot of spawn attempts, which in turn reduces the lag that is caused. So we want to run the crafting system while the creeper farm over there is running as well. So we will have spawn attempts that get cancelled out by the stone. And the crafting system will be built inside of that stone. Alright, so SciCraft put in a lot of hours here. Is it done already? No. Oh, I think he actually built up the latest version that we used for speedrunning, which requires the most amount of effort to build but finishes the quickest. So it has stone generators on both sides. Oh yeah. Might have not been the best idea to build that one, because it's a bit more effort, but yeah, at least it's gonna finish quick. Alright, we might also wonder what's going on here with the ground. Why do we have the lines in between every third block? I actually was using the flying machine that I published on my channel a while ago that pushes blocks down. So the idea is that we push blocks down in order to compact it, so it can also push blocks in between the bedrock. So this would, maybe help reduce the lag even a bit more, maybe another % efficiency, but it's probably not too crazy what we're getting here. And the server closed. Everything is alright. SciCraft just had to restart the server. It was kind of Quarry related. You can also check out on the Quarry. Since the start of the episode, I actually covered quite a distance. Here we can see it in the background, and you can also notice the lag. Can't even use my rockets anymore. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. Alright. Yeah, the Quarry still doing its thing. It stopped, I think, 4 or 5 times, unfortunately. Because, well, there's some unforeseen issues, of course. Again, with cobblestone generators, we don't have any trenches on the side, so there's always potential for something to go wrong, but so far we could always easily fix it. So this is the current state. Still a ton of items incoming. Yeah, I really love this machine. Okay, so back to that little stone pushing machine. So I actually had different plans for this area. I wanted to remove the last 2 layers of stone as well. So the quarry leaves behind 2 layers. So here's the first bedrock level. So we got those 2 layers of stone left behind. And I wanted to remove those as well with the least amount of effort. So I thought it would be a good idea to push down stone as far as we can. And then the next step, pull up the blocks and then run a TNT duper over it. Pulling up the blocks so we can blow up everything a little bit higher, so dirt that also can generate directly above the bedrock won't be blown up. We don't have to fill in the holes again. In order to do that, I actually developed new flying machines that would help us doing so, but then yeah, Sky overnight prepared this whole area which would be in the way now. I'm not quite sure what to do. Maybe I'll just show you the machines real quick that I actually plan to use. So this is the SciCraft creative server, at least a part of it. Not sure why I actually decided to design a machine in the Nether. I think I just started here and just never bothered. Anyway, so here's the first flying machine. It's a quicker machine of the block pusher or puller. It's twice as fast because it uses 2 sticky pistons to pull or push the blocks. The challenge with this one is that of course you also have to push it forward twice on each end, and the station at the end needs to move forward 4 blocks. So that's why the machine is a bit larger, but it would be twice as fast. Let's try it out. So activates this part here, pushes forwards twice, and launches again. Activates it once more, so it goes also forward 2 more blocks. Okay, let's stop this somehow. Quick, obsidian. Okay, I just would need the same machine on the other side. So that was the first flying machine, and then we also spent, Flying Machine and I, over 2 hours yesterday designing a TNT duper that also gets pushed forward on each end. This was actually harder than expected, but we came up with a working solution that is not really optimized. So I can probably compact it, but we haven't really spent time on that. Just wanted a working version. Alright, I can also show it to you. So we have to launch it here. Activates this part. Flying machine moves forward 1 block because of the TNT duper. And on the other side we do the same. This would be perfect to cover every single block with TNT. It's kind of nice to look at. Alright, let's stop it again here. So I might use those machines later, but now we're actually just gonna prepare the area around manually, since they're mostly useful for really large scale. So this was a very short time lapse of me digging out this area here. I quickly felt this is more effort than expected and probably not worth it. So this was 20 minutes of digging there, and there's just so much left. I quickly felt like, no, I'm wasting my time here. Funny thing is, if you look over at the other side, somebody had the same idea, which I noticed later. So somebody also started digging out some blocks here, but also quickly lost interest. It's more than it looks like. Also the annoying thing is you need to move the beacon so often, since we are only digging like a layer here. So let's actually go back to the flying machine idea. I already started building up the first one over there, just to try it out. Oh, need to get a new elytra. And we're back with the fresh elytra. Let's spec the flying machine I built up here. So this pulls up the blocks twice. And we got this platform here that will be blown up by the TNT duper. So to remember you again, we do this pulling up in order to protect dirt blocks that have a lower blast resistance between the bedrock, so we don't need to fill up any holes afterwards. Alright, so we run a TNT duper over it, then we're gonna get the second pulling machine, there's another layer, and do the same, and then we also should get a really smooth surface without any annoying digging. So it's a couple hours later, the TNT duper is active. At the moment we have 3 machines running, so pulling up, blowing up, and another flying machine that pulls up blocks. So once this one moves forward a couple more blocks, I'm gonna add the second TNT duper to also blow up that layer, and then we probably need another flying machine because there's some leftover lava in between. So we want to get rid of that as well. Probably just some, yeah, flying machine per piston that punches it out. Right, made good progress in this episode again. Yeah, talking about progress, the stone generator also ran and got removed later again. We now also have this, yeah, cobblestone filled sub-chunk, the slime layer on top, like with the witch farms. Okay, maybe let's also check on the quarry. It stopped again. Yeah, that's where it's at right now. What I'm also doing sometimes is, there's a lot of diamond ore still exposed, and I mine it before it would get blown up by the 3-directional machines there. So actually getting quite some diamond ore this way. Almost got 3 stacks from flying around a little bit. Okay, but enough of that. I think it's time to end the episode here. In the next episode, we're gonna build a brown mushroom farm. It's gonna be quite fun. Okay, thanks guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.